it's going to be a good one here, Dan.
Yep, definitely. And the pistol round is always fun because it may not look anything like any of the gun rounds that is to follow. So I would expect just to see something quick and interestingly, and I like this from TSM, they are sticking with what we saw a lot against Luminosity, which is that B long pressure, trying to make sure that they don't lose control of this, gives them options to quickly flank and retake A as well. So it's a good every setup. Nice. Deals with everything. And you know what? They've gotten 2 opening picks out of it, so it's certainly working out.
Yeah, the paranoia swung out, and you even saw apologies, I missed who it was, but there was somebody waiting for that, right? That from 100 Thieves, the paranoia comes out, he was still sitting back in spawn to check the aggressive peek, but Wardell wins that duel with the Ghost. TSM get a ton of room to work with, right? And they get so much information. Nice shot from Steel.
He's picked up the Sheriff and the pistol and is panning out. I mean, you just have to love Steel for so many things, right, in this game. The weapon choices, someone that shows the Guardian a lot more than other players, and just it generally makes interesting choices. The Sheriff and the pistol, really cool that that's opened things back up here now for his team. Hiko is doing the damage as well. He's going to finish off what Steel set up for him. And these guys...
Oh man, but this is what I was afraid of. So you see they peek, they show up, and then they start to think twice about it, get the yips and pull off, and that is the window in which TSM, or excuse me, 100 Thieves dashes in. Ethan going to be one of the first ones there. The wall's going to go up. That should give them a bit of room to work with as the spike goes down. Asuna with one. Asuna looking for a second, going to drop the wall. He's going to get it. Wardell trades it out as Ethan gets in on it as well. TSM down to 2 members left.
And there's the late lurk from Steel. By the way, expect to see that a lot. That's what he's going to do on this map quite often. And Drone now has to show his prowess with the Sheriff. And there you go. Wow. That's a nice start to things. He winds it up. And unfortunately, unable to do much more than that. The shock dart will deny him.
Asuna, oh my gosh, he might slip in there entirely unchecked.
Yeah, this is a position that some teams will leave completely open, especially early on. This does feel quite risky to go up there. So they've hit a huge timing, huge window to gain some great position. See, Sabros is going to come through at the same time as the drones. The bait setup. Wow. That's actually great from TSM. Oh, wow. That is awesome to see. And that's going to help them to now swing things in their favor a little bit. And 100 Thieves are going to have to push off of that because TSM are working out the info. And there comes the kill for 100 Thieves, opening up off the entry there through mid. And it looks like they have B side control. Cutler is going to have a lot on his hands here. There's a trade, and now it's down to Hazed.
Steel looking to get the spike down. He does have that lockdown. It'd be interesting to see if they use it this early on. Might not even get a chance. The turrets there draw a little bit of attention. As Wardell from the top rope, not able to land the shots with the blades, and the Sheriff doesn't come through as well. Steel gets the best of him. Hazed alone in a 1v3. Now, it's going to be... All right, never mind.
Against 100 Thieves, it feels like in the clutches, they just don't quite seem to get the same love, but more pressure around the B-long position. Coming in here now from 100 Thieves. Looking just to clear out these spots, and it's looking good so far. Not really too much to contest this. Of course, TSM on a buy.
Well, with the this is what's interesting. Wardell has an op. Everyone else has pistols. So 100 Thieves should have a pretty notable advantage. Keep an eye on Wardell, how he plays this out. Imagine he wants to stay alive if this round goes sideways, but 100 Thieves have gotten onto the site. It looks like they're going to get the spike down at the hands of Nitro. Hazed on a potential flank, but Steel sniffs it out. The lurker gets lurked. Now, 100 Thieves try to keep control of the site. The paranoia is there. Nitro stays, swings. Wardell with the op again. Asuna takes care of Cutler, but again, that operator is still in the fold. It's still a problem. The lockdown being used, as it's just down to Wardell.
Yeah, and it's tough. He has to keep this alive. Oh, the timing is really awful, unfortunately, for him there. Unfortunately, that is just how it be sometimes in tactical FPS games. And 4-0 is now the score in favor of 100 Thieves. And TSM, they will be able to get a full buy. Of course, you can see the operator in hand for Wardell again, spending everything. And right. It's looking really nice economy-wise for 100 Thieves. They're off to a very solid start. And they are shifting attention to A this time as well at the beginning of the round.
Yeah. And look, they're good financially, sitting pretty on the scoreboard right now. And for TSM, oh, actually, I like this. Let's see if Wardell can connect onto anything. He's gonna spot the turret. Nice shot. Steals out.
Big kill to get. Again, as we've talked about, Steel is someone that's going to lurk a lot, especially in rounds like this with this A push. They do count on Steel to get those lurking kills up mid later on. And they also won't have the benefit of his utility, the turret, nano swarms. And this is really interesting because you can see that 100 Thieves have recognized that TSM are playing retake. They play for the res. So that's a lot of info. Of course, you know that Sage has to be there. That's 2 players now in mid. So off the bat of this reset, TSM pulls everyone off of B initially. So now they don't know if there is a play into B or if the play continues to A, and if this is a fake or not. Trade comes through and they are just having to play retake here. Although has to smoke that. He can't shoot out the operator and also deal with the recon. So it's getting really awkward here now for TSM as 100 Thieves hit a nice timing into this A site. And now it's on the retake for TSM. This has been so difficult.
And you see Steel, who's been waiting back in the spawn the entire time. Now he's going to join in. So 100 Thieves being able to do so without one of the members on their squad in on the action. And it seems to be going sideways, of course, as soon as I say that. Sabrosa and Cutler get a kill apiece. But the spike has gone down. It's just down to Hiko and Steel. Paranoia is going to push him back. Steel drops. It's down to Hiko. And Hiko, who's been, he's been good at stuff like this many a time. He's good for one. The Hunter's Fury, no freaking way. Tags up both. Look at the stick to the fuels and no freaking way. Captain Clutch does it again. Hiko wins the round for 100 Thieves. Just unreal. Absolutely unreal. Hiko, and again, just like picking up right where he left off. It wasn't the Hunter's Fury, it was the Vandal, but either way, the results are the same. Wardell taken out. Man.
That is rough. Especially, it put TSM into this situation. No money to play with, and it just feels like, it's, 100 Thieves aren't doing anything special. Obviously, at the beginning of the round, they are just holding. It really does. And we mentioned, TSM might find a way back in off of the ultimate. Definitely something to think about here. They have the Killjoy lockdown available, so it is something they can use to not have to fight for sites and lose potential kills early on, and they can instead play the lockdown for the retake. Sabrosa using Omen's TP, obviously, to get some nice angles here for Round Long. Great stuff there from him, but at the same time, the push through Kitchen up tube is going to cause problems. Asuna just barely gets the rocket out in time to take down the opposing Rays. Drone dies by Yellow, and that's going to be a site that's now clear, but they have to ferry across the spike. It's not in position just yet, so still problems here potentially for 100 Thieves in coming to completion on this spike one.
Yeah, for sure. And then in Sabrosa on the flank, the fact that TSM have 3 ultimates to work with, and to add insult to injury, the spike is down in a precarious spot where 100 Thieves can't easily get onto to really take. Steel has to go for that. Sabrosa gives him the business, dismisses him as TSM continue to pile it on. 100 Thieves just down to 1 player left. Nitro left alone with 53 health. The dart is there. Great swing by Nitro, though, to equalize things. But again, this is, you're staring up Mount Everest here.
Yeah, definitely. And there's there's no orb, is there? I don't think there would be. Oh, there is. So to actually get a res, well, there should be, it's 20 seconds though. That's really the problem. He's going to go for it. Nitro picks up the res on Ethan. Let's see what they have to just get the kills here. There's no other opportunity to win this round. So there goes Ethan, takes down Sabrosa, 1 more player to find, but just playing the time and just not allowing this to even be possible here for Ethan. So interesting to go for the res there. I think that's just really
let this be as a lesson for you folks. Use Vandals at home. Not able to get the ace. Everything really proving to be difficult for TSM here. Wardell goes aggressive. Steel dispatches him. 100 Thieves should have a bit of room to work with. Towards A, you see Sabrosa uses from the shadows to get information. Drops back. And for TSM here, I don't know that they know enough.
This is a tough one here. There goes the wall. That was a pretty unharassed plants there for Nitro, falling back to the close plant. 100 Thieves looking pretty good. The Hunter's Fury that is available for Color. He's going to drop in there. Oh, hello. Buys the finishing shots there at the steal. He was, of course, detained. And Ethan's just watching that flank. And, that's a huge kill for Sabrosa. Now there's a really big problem. You got Hiko sitting up here in the nest. He's got his partner there. in crime. Asuna looking to try to find a way to prevent this spike from being diffused, and it's up to Hiko. Can he really do it again? Looks like this time, no dice for 100 Thieves. And TSM, you know, we were looking for them to find some fortune, and it's happening. They've won the key opening duels. Oh, there goes the play. The showstopper's pulled out. That's going to create a lot of space as well, forcing those players back. Doesn't get maybe the value he was looking for, but still caught out on the lurk in mid by Wardell. It's going to create some sense of urgency here for 100 Thieves. There's 3 players for TSM around B long, and they're redroning this position. 100 Thieves are in trouble if they decide to commit for this. And that's 2 players spotted in this position. Nice anticipation there from Subrosa, finishing off both players, leaving just 2 left for 100 Thieves. Yikes.
Yeah, and they're, you know, interesting decision by 100 Thieves to commit to that anyway, right? Like, even after the pick across the middle, you see TSM just did the same thing across the middle, right? Then shortly after that drone expires, Subrosa peeks, takes care of steal. Nice opening pick for the defending team.
And you can kind of see here as well that it's kind of hard for TSM, even though they're up a player, to know what's going on. So they're going for a push with Subrosa. They want that mid-round, or well, it's actually kind of late round now, info play to figure out where is the rotation going. Because they lost that B long control earlier on, so they don't really know what's happening. They're giving up this A site as well. And 100 Thieves will walk straight into this. So it does feel like this round is going to be a tough one for 100 Thieves, but they should get a post plant out of it. That said, TSM have Hunter's Fury, so they could deny it. And they may try to do that, and it's a high position for Asuna to try to prevent them from getting position here.
Paranoia is going to come out. Asuna is going to get tagged up. TSM up from the top rope. Subrosa had a great spot, but Asuna gives him the business. Nitro does it as well. It's these chaotic moments where 100 Thieves seems to shine. Nitro going to invest the res onto Hiko as they try to go in aggressive. Nitro gets another one. Drone trades it out. Hiko has to back up. No Hunter's Fury for shenanigans here, but he is 1 kill away. And Nanostorm's going to come out. They believe it got to have no freaking way. Hiko does it again. He's got the Hunter's Fury. The shot darts there. The swing. Hayes stops it. Stuffs it dead in his tracks. TSM take the round away. And it looks like they want to go towards A. You see the smoke. The Paranoia comes out. The drone was there as well. Excuse me. Wardell misses the first one, but he does not miss twice.
Yeah, and so with that kill, for sure, it's going to be a little bit annoying for 100 Thieves, but they still get the plant. So it's kind of a gentleman's agreement at this point. TSM reset for position on retake, and the spike gets down on the side with 3 players for 100 Thieves for the retake. Now, Steel is definitely, you know, he's been sitting in mid this whole time as the lurk. So Steel, if he finds the good timing, could change the round immensely. But if he misses that timing, could lose the round for his team. Let's see. Nitro, though, creeping through the dark cover, finds himself a good spot. And we actually see Steel going back here to try to find a way to help his team out. Hiko trades it at the very least. And Hiko, we know he has that Hunter's Fury, but so does Cutler.
Ethan was there. Ethan really goes big there. Nitro gets 1. Cutler trades him out. Cutler alone in a 1v2. He's running out of time. He's running out of health. I don't know that he has time to do much of anything here. And, you know, Dan, it was really interesting because you saw Subrosa use the From the Shadows to get back.
Yeah, and I'm really loving the dark cover and alarm bot and mid setup that they have. I think that's awesome. And so, yeah, this is really nice. Just trying to mess with the timings, the aggressive timings, and also to suggest aggression. But as we can see, you know, Subrosa is already in a deep position on B-Long, so you can kind of call the bluff here, and they may not be expecting him, but still, doesn't mean they can't frag him. Ethan reacting, and there goes the drone clearance. So right now, it really feels like a B-split. In fact, it actually is a B-split. Asuna there with the showstopper, using the satchels to get into position. Hunter's Fury coming out as well, so lots to worry about right now for TSM as they try hard to hold onto these side positions, but it's not working out all too well. Cutler, though, he's still holding on to his Hunter's Fury, while Dell pulls out the Blade Storm. So TSM 3 versus 5. And they're not down and out just yet, though.
Spike planted. Oh, certainly not. Hiko gets the spike down. That certainly puts him closer to down and out as Asuna continues to cause problems. Nitro does as well. Hazed alone with 45 health.
They've got to find ways to win some of these clutches, man. It's really crazy because when it comes down to it, there's a lot that they're doing well and they're doing right. It's just how you finish.
Right.
You know, the ABC rule, always be closing. You got to close those rounds out. And so far, 100 Thieves definitely have that in the bag, but we'll see on the pistol. Anything is going to be different. I like the Sage Wall on this A site. I think it's really awesome on these pistols. Oh, just playing that cheeky headshot angle. That's so weird, but Oh, Nitro seeing the Boombot just strolling past him, somehow still alive, manages to delay the Boombot just long enough to pick up the extra kill. And with all said and done, it leaves just one. Cutler is able to trade onto Hiko at the very least, but Asuna is too cracked to allow Cutler to survive.
Interesting early aggression. We were actually just talking about how good Ethan has looked for 100 Thieves so far, and there we see him in a role where you're asking a bit more out of him, going aggressively there. He gets one, and then Subrosa swings on him. He gets another one. Asuna does as well. TSM on less than desirable weaponry falling apart here against 100 Thieves.
Yeah, and you can see Ethan is he's just playing the basics really, really well here. How he's holding his angles, how he's challenging, how he's jiggling for information, clearing things effectively. And TSM have found a hole here in the defense. They've managed to walk up towards the kitchen. Of course, there is an alarm bot there, but at the same time, they've gained position, even though they have allowed Thieves to be aware as to what they're doing. Well, with that said, it's a nice flank coming in from Asuna, finds his way through the tube, and maybe TSM moving a little bit too slow, unfortunately. It's just hard to know. And they will collect the spike, and they have some ground towards this AB bomb site, but unfortunately, it really did come down to Cutler being able to hit one of those shots, because look at all the ground now that's able to be gained by 100 Thieves around the site. So at this point, TSM have to hit some crazy shots, even to have a chance to plant the spike, and they are committed to the site.
Yeah, you're going to have to do something filthy just to get the same zip code, right? But for 100 Thieves...
It's such a strong piece of utility, I guess, easily wasted. It's good to see that that's not the use case in this instance. Hiko's going to be able to find the kill there onto Subrosa, lurking around. And again, we know that the weaponry is just not great here for TSM. Now, this is the reason the Ares is pretty... or the Odin's pretty nuts from this position.
One enemy remaining.
Also deals with the walls pretty effectively. Oh, hello! Here comes Drone! He's got the Sheriff in hand, and he's really making it rain at this point. It's going to be difficult for him to get much more, though. He's going to try to jiggle it. It's kind of ridiculous as well how much Steel can do in terms of delay with the Odin from that position. Under tube, it's pretty disgusting, and you can see he's just getting free damage out of it, and also a kill. Spamming the Odin. He's not even having to do anything. He's looking at a box and just holding down mouse 1. Come on. This is not fair, is it? And he goes right in there to finish things off. And speaking of not fair, Hiko's had, so many great clutches here, but it's going to be 13-4, 100 Thieves. They're looking so good on Icebox. We've seen some pretty violent pistols so far, and it looks like this could have the makings of a slower pistol, just noting by, having 3 players here towards the B side of the map, but the spike is just dropped by top mid, so it does suggest that TSM are going to feel this out a little bit before they decide what they'll be doing with that spike. And starts off with that mid control. The forward dark cover does allow 100 Thieves players to kind of get flush to those close mid positions. And there's the orb getting collected on the A side of things here. Again, we talked about stacking those orbs on the Phoenix, especially on this map. It's really powerful.
Right, and you're already seeing TSM prioritize that. They've picked up the spike, jiggled it, handed it off. Subrosa, you did spot one player, and I believe, 100 Thieves saw it as well. Ethan swings, takes care of him. Wardell tries to get in. He's going to get tagged pretty badly before taking care of Asuna and getting away to safety. Kills traded on each side.
Yeah, quick reset into a fast rotation onto the B side. After that mid-action, oh, great stuff there from Drone. Nice drive-by frag onto Ethan. Will allow the plant to go down onto B. Nitro and Hiko coming through now. The old CS veterans. To see what they're able to accomplish. A recon dart is always great. You can bank it on that tree at the back. Get some good coverage of some of those positions. However, if there are players in the boathouse, of course, they will be obscured from that recon dart. And they know there has to be at least one player in B main, given how many there are at the moment.
It's just buying time, right? Cover, as long as he can keep Nitro entertained. If he wins the duel, great, and even if he doesn't, he just buys himself time, leaves Hiko alone.
Do the TSM players in B main try to push out of B main, or they try to hold on to this and just wait for as long as possible? And that's normally what you would want to try to do. And there is actually a flank coming through, and so Subrosa will be able to help deal with that, or rather, well, he goes down, but it was the bait. So ultimately it works out quite nicely. A lot of time on spike at this point. Some good damage done though.
Yeah.
By 100 Thieves.
Yeah, and for that, I love ultimately, like TSM
which means that A main and Gelato is free. So they're pushing up Gelato for free, but look at the rotation coming in here as well. So they should be expecting to run into something. There's Hayes with one. The transfer is pretty good there from Asuna. Picks up a second, and they get the info. 3 versus 3, and Hiko's hiding in wine.
He's going to get a chance at something special here. They stood there. Back, wait. Nice shot from Hiko. He takes care of Wardell, and now the gig's up. Drone knows that he's there, swings in the ult, able to take care of him. It's going to clear out the rest of the site. He's going to come back. He's going to pick up the spike, and now he's left with the decision, right? He knows that they have some mid control at the hands of Sub Rosa, or he can commit to A. It looks like he's rotating off, and this, my dear friends, is an awkward situation. He's going to shoot him right in the back of the head. The nice.
I'm liking some of the early round tactical choices here from 100 Thieves, like that Ice Orb to raise main shells into B main to punish all pure pickup. But TSM slowing things down, moving towards mid now. There's a setup here on Catwalk. Eco there with the shock darts is going to be able to find one frag with that, and setup here on Cat is still looking good, and it hasn't been dealt with. And Wardell's going to have to push forwards to do that. Nice double headshots coming out of the Blade Storm. And now with that said, it's a 2 versus 2. Time is of the essence. There's the pickup of the frag to get passage to the bomb. Spike now is available. Oh, maybe not anymore, though. That's so disgusting from Hayes. Straight in Hiko's face. And with that said, it's going to be a hell of a job now for Hayes. He's not got much time. And
here. He's going to do something. 100 Fury's there. That's the Q. Asunu tries to swing to punish it. And he drops.
So timely wall there to deny entry off at the back of the kill there from TSM. Droning past, trying to get some info on some of these closer positions. 3 players on site, though, is going to make life difficult. Drone doesn't care, though, taking down Nitro quite easily. It's now gaining some space for his team, and it's still not clear if they are going to try to commit initially off of this, but Drone has the backside. Still one player on the site. Finally, there's some frags happening here for 100 Thieves. They announced their presence, just waiting for the perfect moment to come out of those defensive spots to go for the engagements. And now Sabrosa, he will certainly have been heard. You know exactly where he is. And there's a shock dart to just prove that fact. It's tapping away, and Hiko has knocked him down to 41 health. There's just very little to do here now for Sabrosa.
Yep. They don't have much as far as weapons go. They do have their running back in the lockdown. Be interesting to see if they use that Nitro. Oh man, Hayes turns around, swings, gets into business, dispatches him. But Hiko and Ethan get in on it as well. TSM, certainly worse for wear. Wardell has just a sliver of health, but Cutler's shock dart equalize things at 3 apiece. Steel pushing him through the smoke. He's gonna get a chance at one. Rosa pushes back, but the problem is the clock continues to tick away. Nice shot from Cutler with the Sheriff. 9 seconds left on the clock. They have to go. Wardell starting to get the thing down. Cutler drops. Steel goes in. The spike does drop. Steel with the shots. TSM just down to Sub Rosa. On the other side of the smoke, one. Isolating things down to 1v1. The Paranoia's got to come out. The Paranoia lands, but Steel swings with the 3K. Wins the round for 100 Thieves.
Should run.
There's the lockdown. There is a counter to be had, but TSM has the ace in the hole that 100 Thieves does not, and that's the Hunter's Fury. There's the second lockdown. They're going to go ahead and use the run it back as well as they try to get onto the site. And there, dear friends, is that Hunter's Fury. That's going to take care of the lockdown. Meanwhile, Steel was one of the ones detained. That's going to give TSM license to get onto the site. So Broza gets all the way in. As he gets up top, he's got a chance at something great. Here's something special. Gets 2, looking for the 3rd. Line him up and knock him down. So Rosa comes big, looking for the 4th. Austin is going to trade him out. He's left alone. A man on an island in a 1v4. Asuna with 8 health left, too. He's going to swing. Great timing as he takes care of Drone. But again, that is just one of many steps he's going to have to take if he wants to win this round for 100 Thieves.
And at the very least, charging up his ultimate with some additional kills is going to be very valuable. Trying to find something extra here, as you say, just squeezing out as much value as possible. Might not be too much left to squeeze out. And
100 Thieves going a bit aggressively here. They've got the Bucky, and, well, it's not going to be in commission for long. Hayes handles that aggression just fine. You see the dart. I believe there was a Paranoia as well. Either way, well handled by TSM.
And 100 Thieves actually have a res available here, so unfortunately, it's not a very resable position, kind of deep on B main. And I like this in the sense, I'm not sure how much it factors into the decision making, but finishing on a B play here does deny that res at all. Dell actually catching the rotation there, just holding position has allowed TSM to get an extra kill. And the thing is about that is that they know that 100 Thieves know exactly what they're doing now, which is why they have that forward position in the first place. And you know what? It doesn't really matter if TSM have Sabrosa spraying through the smoke and landing 2 headshots. Always very nice to see. Also movement coming in from TSM though towards B main at the same time and mid as well. So it does feel at this point, I think, for 100 Thieves, especially with that push from Steel, that info play, he picks up Hazed, and Hazed has been lurking. So that's a huge tell. Yeah. Here in the hands of 100 Thieves as to what TSM are doing. So the TSM are in a weird spot because they're going to be, they know that their opponents know what's coming now, I think is fair to say. So it's going to be hard for them to pull this off, but they just have to go for it.
Right.
We'll have to see if it's going to work out.
They've got to commit. They've taken the middle of the map. That's the one silver lining for them, but Osmo seems to be able to hold it off just fine. Nitro does as well. He's going to get away.
Doesn't get the run it back off that though.
No, but they are going to push Steel back, and they're going to flood onto the site. Steel, had to look at the Omen ult, and he gets dropped. Ethan trades one out as well. The 103 out from, oh no! From Hiko as Asuna just, I don't know how he survived that. He ate that. But TSM have gotten onto the site. 100 Thieves, if the numbers disadvantage, Hayes has 4. As Cutler gets spiked down, he's going to use the lockdown as well. This round looking so good for TSM.
Yeah, it's a good thing that he hesitated on the lockdown in the end, because it looks like it's going to be a pretty easy cleanup with all said and done. Great stuff there from TSM.
No heavy aggression, and you know, it was interesting. Steel had played the op on this exact same spot the previous round, or 2 rounds ago. Now going to have the Vandal drone using the run it back. He knows exactly where to peek. What value out of that run it back as he takes care of 2.
Yeah, that's really awesome to see from Drone, completely clearing out the A side all by himself with the ultimate. And they haven't even used the lockdown or the Blaze Storm just yet, so that is a huge win. If they can save that for the next round, that's another with a huge punish. Really working on a retake here. Now, here comes Nitro from the back on Cat, but it's dealt with. And that Cat setup is proving quite problematic here. Asuna trying to do what he can with the satchels, but TSM convert, and indeed, you're worried if you're TSM on the kind of weaponry that's 100 Thieves is carrying right now, because you know that they've got some of these weapons that are very powerful at these close ranges. So you got to find a way through the choke points very quickly, and you got to find a way to enter a site with dealing with these choke points possible. And speaking of which, Wardell actually just gets caught on a horrible timing. It's just unfortunate. You just can't predict that. And that's going to be a way in for 100 Thieves. Now, again, we talked about having your options limited. And right now, the options are very limited for TSM because they have lost mid control. The only control they have is B main. And so they're almost forced at this point to reset with no time on the clock and run to A or through mid, or they force the issue into B. There's no good option right now for TSM, because TSM have a lot of utility remaining to slow down anything they do. And they're suggesting the reset into mid or A, and they're going back to B here.
TSM has, oh boy. All right, this is going from bad to worse for TSM. Nitro gets one with the Sheriff before dropping. Sabrosa drops as well. It's just onto Cutler. He gets onto the site. He is not going to get the spike down. He is going to swing. Takes care of Hiko, but he's going to drop. The judge that we teed up at the beginning proves to be too much. Reset. TSM down 1-0. Losers, decider, match. TSM wins, they go on to Master. Or, well, TSM wins, we force map 3. TSM loses, 100 Thieves goes on to Masters. TSM out for the tournament.
Yeah, really fast approach here from 100 Thieves, straight through to market. Sabrosa with the lurk, though. He wants to find that timing on the flank. Not able to find it just yet. Teammates will be holding things off on the site in the meantime. And it's not looking too horrendous, but just as I say that, 3 players dropping instantly for TSM on site. And it's looking like a scary prospect there. Steel with the lurk with the Sheriff. Loving the Sheriff pickup from Steel. And down to Wardell here in this B main position. Does have some assistance coming through. He's got Drone on his 6. But I don't like the look of this. This is tough. They know they're both are going to be coming from B main. holding tight to the site.
There's no exit for 100 Thieves. I mean, they kind of have to huddle in, and TSM, they're going to go in. Great shots from Wardell to take care of Austin. Drop things down to a Thieves. Dash across. 100 Thieves holds them off. They win the pistol in the second half.
I have the spike.
Yeah, they're not willing to go out and get info because they have B main control, so they're just going to sit on A. And the B main control is going to be, that's going to have to be everything. Because if they push, then they're in a spot where they're going to likely give up a frag. So they're just pushing it to chance right here on TSM, and sometimes it might work out. The classic, not quite getting the frag that Jerome was looking for.
30 seconds left.
But he has bought enough time here, especially with this dark cover on the B main position. They're going to have to force their way through it, I would imagine. Otherwise, they allow the defenders of TSM to get a rotation into the site. And look at the wall coming through here. That's lovely there for Nitro. Bulldog able to get some angles here. Maybe he wanted a little bit more space to play with. They're actually going to challenge that angle. What setups they otherwise would like to use here. It's all about also in this game understanding what is the best bang for buck in my utility. And indeed, we're going to see it used for the site entry there. Asuna able to get it off onto Wardell. That's a huge pickup as well. Wardell not able to dash away in time. However, TSM looking to hold on to things here as 100 Thieves failed to make their way into the site with the spike.
Well, not only that, but they drop it in a terrible spot where TSM has control, right? It's just down to Nitro there, and they can just squat on it. A huge 3K from Sabrosa to stop the bonus. TSM get back on the board.
And then they usually reset off of it. So Boombot plus drone feels very scary. It feels like the push is going to be coming in, but the spike is actually towards the B site.
Yeah, and for Wardell here, if he can continue to get a couple of those picks, the fear is gone, and you handle that aggression. But the thing is, look at the mini-map. Look at TSM. They're starting to pull off. Hayes is the last one kind of staying. Asuna gets a pick on the Wardell, and that should be a cue. Like, guys, the play is on A, but it's not. The gig's up. Nitro gets another one onto Hayes. Now Drone has to rotate back, but the wall's going to be up. He's not going to have a way in. Meanwhile, the spike is going to go down. TSM are left scrambling as they try to book it back towards B as soon as they can.
Yeah, and they got info as to where every one of these players actually was as well, because they had the steps running away from A main, and they spotted 2 and B, so they have all the info. It's a pretty good guess that Sova's coming through B main or late mid. And there's that ult, so now they know precisely where the Sova is. Eco with that very annoying Hunter's Fury, and they're going to try down here. He's in some trouble here. He's going to have to fall back and try to keep himself just alive. His presence is more than him trying to actually pick a fight, doing a lot of damage. And TSM are struggling to make their way in. Just Sabros is the last man standing, and there you go. There we go, TSM looking to hold on to this B main control, but this time they won't be able to make that work out, and that is quite difficult. And you can see right now that TSM are now walking quite a few players towards A main. They know that they have to do something here. I'm actually curious if they're going to push this, because they do need to, I feel like they need to get info somewhere, or they need to just gamble stack something. That's usually what you want to do in a situation like this.
Right.
And they've got that control now towards A main. So they just spotted that there's nothing there. But there's a problem here, because if you don't see Gelato, this is exactly what can happen. A team can think, well, they just cleared A main, so they're going to go back, and now we're going to get a timing on the site. But in fact, Wardell sticking around makes the difference, and he gets a multi-kill, the dash to safety too. And just like that, TSM swing things back in their favor.
The spike's down, 100 Thieves are at a spot where they can easily pick it up and then decide where they want to play things out. Also, keep an eye on Ethan. He's taking cat control. This could be a devastating pinch onto A if the timing is right. They're going to have somebody. Nico, come back, pick it up. Ethan's there on tree. He's able to get just one left on the site. Sabrosa by himself, a man left alone, and a man dead. 100 Thieves have control of the site. It's just Hayes alone here in a 1v3. The spike goes down. He's healthy. Dan, he's got utility, he's got plenty of armor, he's got the opportunity to do this here, but he's gonna have to go huge. You see Ethan playing off the site, the darts there, fancy footwork from Hayes to keep it alive. Asuna drops, Hiko does as well, and Ethan stops the clutch.
Going to spot through to Gelato. I think if they spot further, they'll see the turret, which is a huge tell. Just seeing Steel is a big tell as well. You know, the Killjoy. You know, Steel is lurking in most cases, in most setups.
And I like, you see Ethan just dropped a smoke on top cat. Kind of buyed them into thinking that there may be something going on mid. Meanwhile, Hiko clears it out with the drone, but the hit's a hit onto B. There's a lockdown that's going to be used. No Hunter's Fury. See if they can clear it out with some shock darts. Nope, stays alive. Just long enough. Just enough to keep them back. Asuna swings out, takes care of Hutler. Haze has to drop back. But the thing is, there's nobody watching from CT here. This was the exact same play we saw last time. They're preventing if somebody's watching in CT, or excuse me, the defending side. Nobody was there this time around. They can funnel in, take care of the player detained.
And 100 Thieves have shown time and again that when they take aiming control like this, they may make it look like they're going to pressure and then push onto a site, but that hasn't often been the case.
Right.
And it looks like they may even just contact in here.
Oh, they're going to do it. Hands down. There's a close stopper. Asuna goes in. Asuna doesn't connect, but Ethan does. He takes care of Sub Rosa, but they get onto the site. Now you see members from TSM working their way up towards heaven. Also keep an eye on Haze. He's in tree. He's left unchecked. Also, on top of that, you got to keep an eye on Steel, who is on the lurk. Excuse me. The lockdown comes out. Asuna goes in aggressive. Asuna takes care of Wardell. The paranoia is there. The boom bot leading the way as Asuna looks for more. Haze and Cutler get a couple apiece. Nitro is tagged up and stays alive for now.
And Ethan's the only one that didn't get detained. He's got to survive here, and he survived for just long enough to prevent his teammates from getting taken down in A main. And now it's down to Hiko and Nitro, and they are going to do a great job there, holding things down back to back on A main.
Very bad indeed. Seeing Wardell pop that Blade Storm, try to take some early control towards B main, ensure there's nobody pushing up. And it's interesting, you usually see Steel in this spot where Asuna is, where you see the spike and a lot of the investment of personnel elsewhere. And Steel's the one who's usually on the lurk, but this time it's Asuna who's holding things down. Oh. Haze goes big in the middle as he gets 2 numbers in favor of TSM here.
He's rolling back the years. Oh my god, he is just crushing in this series, and that's going to force the res to come out, and that's going to force the swing. They want to punish that res. It's just scary because they had a lot. Hayes is just playing deathmatch right now. Beautiful work off of the Vandal, and he is still confident, holding out there. No fear. 23 health. There's only one man left standing is Hiko, and Hayes does not care. He just wants to shoot everybody in the face. And here comes the late lurk through from Wardell.
Surely not, right?
Silence.
Surely not. Hiko.
Well, there you go.
Hiko gets 1 onto Wardell. Left. He's got the spike. He's got 30 seconds, so he has some time. He also has the ultimate. The problem is you have to somehow sneak onto the site, get the spike down, and then stay alive long enough to be able to use your Hunter's Fury. He's got no freaking way Hiko does this again. He drops things down to a 1v1, taps, looking for the swing. He spotted Cutler, so he has a great idea of where he is, and Hiko does it again! Are you kidding me? Your first strike champions are going to Masters!